40inbox.com, and today we're going to be checking out this article called Dad Reveals He Lost $500,000, his home, and wife after falling victim to cruel pig butchering scam. As figures show, Americans are losing record amounts to crypto fraudsters. So, as like a foreshadowing kind of thing, um, be very careful who you communicate with online. Straight up. Like if you go into like dating websites, if you use dating websites, be careful with who you interact with. Like if someone tries to get you to send money for any reason, don't do it. If someone tries to like have you like cash app them, don't do it. But let's get into it. A father of three has revealed how he lost his life savings, his home, and his wife after he was tricked into investing in bogus cryptocurrency schemes by two women he met on social media. Michael Holloway, a 62-year-old real estate agent from New Jersey, was conned out of $500,000 by online fraudsters who lured him in with fake relationships before persuading him to drain his entire retirement pot. So I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, you like cheated on your wife, is what I'm basically getting from this. So, how much should I really feel bad for you? Like, if you cheated on your wife and you get scammed while that happened, should I feel bad? Like, I don't know. Feel free to give your thoughts if you stumble upon this. It's kind of like a weird situation because, like, he's technically a victim, but you still cheated on your wife, and you got kids. Like, what are you doing? So, Michael was so distraught by falling victim to this cruel scam that he hit rock bottom, was ready to end his life, and ultimately ended up being rushed to the hospital by his concerned daughter. He fell for a heartless scam known as pig butchering, whereby victims are effectively fattened up with a fake relationship with a romantic or friendly before being butchered by fraudulent investment advice. And Michael is by no means alone. Experts warn the crime is exploding across the country, and investment fraud is now the fastest growing scam in the US. And here's the reality: there are so many desperate guys out there that it probably wouldn't take much for someone to like catfish a guy into like basically scamming them for like hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, you could probably, I don't recommend this, but this probably does happen where you could, if you're a guy, well, I mean, you could technically do this if you're a girl too, but you could take a fake profile photo, put it onto a social media account, contact someone, contact a few 20 people, 40 people, 100 people, and probably one of those people, at the very least, will fall for something like this and pay crazy amounts of money, which is sad, right? There's just some people who I don't want to say that they're dumb. I don't want to be that mean, but it's like they're ignorant about the world, right? Like they don't really know how things work, right? So Americans lost a record 2.57 billion to cryptocurrency investment fraud last year alone, according to the FBI, which is almost 3 times the amount stolen in 2021. And earlier this year, recently divorced mom of three, Rebecca Holloway, revealed how she lost her more than $100,000 to a scammer she met on a dating app, Tinder, who conned her into making fake cryptocurrency investments. And speaking exclusively to DailyMail.com, Michael explained how he was targeted on social media and was initially wary of would-be scammers reaching out to him. If I made a successful deal, I would post it on social media, and I started getting random people hitting me up, and they would always mention cryptocurrency investment. I would tell them to forget it. I knew what they wanted, and I was on to them, he said. But In early December 2022, a woman called Hui Hui, who said she was from China, reached out to him. Well, I mean, that just sounds like sketchy as hell already. I was complaining to her that so many people were trying to get me to invest. It kept on like a friendly chat at first. Yeah, I bet you this guy was like on like a dating site trying to like slap some cheeks, clap some cheeks, which again, he was married. Like, what are you doing? And he basically kept trying to like get with these ladies, but then realized like, wait a minute, this person's just trying to scam me out of my money. They're trying to get me to send money, blah 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 blah. And then he fell for it. So Michael admitted that he was having some trouble with his marriage at the time, and he was in a vulnerable mindset. More so like you wanted to clap some cheeks and you were trying to find anything to do that. Again, like it's hard to feel too bad for someone that falls for this in this way. It's like, dude, you were married. The online conversation turned romantic with plans for the pair to potentially meet. Oh, go figure. While he's still married. This is when Hui Hui brought up investing in a cryptocurrency platform and persuaded Michael to invest $18,000. And on December 21st, another woman called Lydia reached out to Michael on social media. She too said she was Chinese and claimed to be a successful businesswoman, even sending Michael photos of a Bentley she claimed to own. Photos? Like, not even a video, photos? You fell for photos, dude? Again, she was very casual in her approach, he said. I felt comfortable talking to her, and we switched to speaking on what. Come on. You went to WhatsApp? It's like this guy is like a straight up sucker. like, I want to feel bad for the guy. But you fall for like scam and then scam and then scam. I felt comfortable talking to her, and we switched to speak on WhatsApp. It was not a romantic relationship, but she was portraying that she was my friend, and she was able to gain my trust. Michael was growing suspicious about the money he had invested with Hui Hui, and even complained to Lydia about the situation, explaining that he was anxious to get the money back. It was not until 3 months into speaking that Lydia brought up an investment opportunity. She said, by the way, I can get you a lot more money. My aunt is a Wall Street trader, and we're doing a special project and you're invited, Michael said. He read the white papers and performed a stress test with the first 20,000 he invested, which he was able to pull from the platform. I was brainwashed, he continued. She wouldn't let me think on my own or let me go for 1 second. Without a beat, those texts were coming in, and I believed it. She was promising me a life of riches, and I was attracted to the idea of making quick profits. I should have known better. See, the crazy thing about this guy was like a real estate agent, and seems like he was doing really well. Like, you could literally sell a few homes, depending on the price point, and make disgusting amounts of money. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is the thing that I don't understand. Why some people like fall for these things is like I understand wanting to make money fast, but at the same time, if you're in a career that you're doing well in, that you can pretty much keep making money over and over and over, like hand over fist, like why are you trying to be distracted by something just because it's shiny, right? Like if you knew that you could potentially make like let's say like a half a mil a year, right? As a real estate agent, wouldn't you keep doing that? Now I don't know how much he was making, but he was making probably really good money. So it's like, why not just keep doing what you're already doing to make good money? Like, you know the real estate game, stick with the real estate game. Like, this is the thing that I never really understood why people get so distracted with what they do. Maybe it's just a pure greed thing. You just want so much money super quickly, but I don't know. Michael started investing in the platform, even taking money from his 401k plan and forfeiting the 20% penalty each time. Like, I don't understand why people fall for this. other than it just being a pure greed aspect. I don't even think it was even more so him just like trying to slap cheeks or clap cheeks. I mean, that was probably the original point, but this is almost like beyond dumb. Like, again, I didn't want to call this guy dumb, but like, come on. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? When in April this year, Michael tried to pull his money out of the first platform he had invested in, he was hit by a $132,000 penalty. Panicking, he tried to take money out of the scheme he had invested in with Lydia, and a $50,000 penalty popped up. This, he said, is when it dawned on him that he had fallen victim to sophisticated scammers. I mean, I don't really know how this is really sophisticated. My face turned bright red. I remembered the actual moment it happened, he said. Between the two accounts, I lost $500,000. I lost my house. I lost my wife when she found out what I had been doing. I lost my money. I was ready to end my life. I was really at a rock bottom place. I ended up having a nervous breakdown, and my daughter rushed me to the hospital, and I was placed in a mental health ward. Now, while Michael is now rebuilding his life, living in an apartment, and is on good terms with his ex wife and children, he said he is keen to warn others of the life changing repercussions of such scams. Looking back, he recognizes the red flags, which are typical of pig butchering cases. The con tends to be long winded and sees the scammer engage in a month long courtship to build up trust. Crooks will often allow victims to withdraw money easily from the investment app in the beginning, but once they have invested heavily, they will lose this option. Ironically, I knew about this type of scam and even mentioned the term to both women. They apparently had me so brainwashed or were somehow able to convince me otherwise. And Rebecca Holloway, 42, also missed similar warning signs when she was swindled out 100 or more than $100,000. Yeah, see, like, this is just, like, crazy. Wow. Oh my God. California lost $870 million to scams. That's crazy. Let's see some of these comments. How are people this dumb? Zero sympathy. See, like, that's the thing. I don't want to really call them dumb. I just think they're super greedy. Like, you gotta be super greedy. Like, this is like the same reason why people bet on penny stocks. This is the same reason why people bet on like altcoins, like crypto coins that are like they're basically like crap, right? It's like you just want to try to make millions and millions of dollars without doing really any work in like a month. That's basically the goal, right? Like, and the funny thing is, you could probably convince a lot of people to do that. So, like, for example, right, if I created a social media following that actually started to get traction, right, with like thousands, tens of thousands of people seeing it on whatever social media platform, and I show them that I got millions of dollars in the bank account, I live in a mansion, I drive a Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever kind of stuff, and I have a bunch of hot women around me, right? I could probably convince quite a lot of people to pay dumb amounts of money for pretty much nothing, right? Like, that's the crazy thing about it. And there's so many people in the world, in terms of like population wise, you could probably convince probably at least 1,000 people out of the whole world that sees your stuff to give you like $1 million each. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's how like crazy this whole kind of like scam type of thing is. Like, people get so greedy, but it's also basically like scamming people on hope too, right? Like, you're scamming people's hopes. Like, they hope that what you are telling to be truthful or what you are portraying to be truthful. And if they think that if they were to buy your thing and they could become super rich, like, Oh, man, it's sad. It's called greed, wanting something easy instead of working for it. Apparently, anyone named Holloway is a sucker, and I don't get why he's trying to paint himself as this poor victim. Dude was cheating on his wife and was dumb as a box of rocks while he was at it. If I made a successful deal, I'd post it, says it all. He put a target on his back. He wasn't brainwashed, he was greedy and not too bright. He recognized what was happening and kept on going. And the thing is, what's funny is that it's a human nature type of thing, right? This is why you could get celebrities who literally have made millions upon millions of dollars getting scammed by stuff like this. This is also why you could get like celebrities and like hedge funds and like big investment groups that like got involved in like the whole Bernie Madoff thing, right? Where he straight up scammed a whole bunch of these people who had millions and millions of dollars already, right? But because they saw the types of returns that he was guaranteeing people, they're like, oh, I got to be involved in that. I got to get my hand in that piece of pie, that sort of thing. Like it's sad when you think about it. It's like it is like beyond easy for people to scam people. Was thinking with the wrong body part. Yeah, I agree. The guy was probably thinking with the wrong head. Crazy though. Feel free to give your thoughts. If you know someone who's been scammed by something like this, leave a comment down below or something like that because I just find it interesting just to how many people actually fall for these scams because like this one chart shows, California, and this is like for the last year, right? California lost 807, oh, $869,614,022 to fraud last year. Florida, 306 million. Texas, 235 million. New York, 173 million. New Jersey, 110 million. Like, this is a big business, right? Because when you think about it, these scammers really only need like one big fish for like years when you think about it, right? Because a lot of these scammers are probably not in America, they're probably in a third world country. So the cost of living in those countries are basically nothing, right? So if they scam this guy for like half a mil, right? That could pretty much pay for their lifestyle for like the rest of their lives when you really think about it.